Hello, everyone. Welcome back for our fourth and final segment for today. We're going to talk exclusively about K-pop, and we left off talking about the Korean Michael Jackson and Madonna in the late 80s, and we have a while to get to current day. So I think it's best to kind of travel through the genre by listening to specific musical examples. And I've sort of subdivided the genre into three different subsections. The first section that we're going to listen to is the origins of idols in the first place. And most people who recognize the genre and have studied it often cite this piece this piece that was released in 1992 as probably the first piece that's truly in the K-pop style. And it's called I Know. And what we're going to hear is some other genres that we've encountered before, heavily referenced in this musical selection. So let me go ahead and pull it up. So obviously there's a huge reference to hip hop and rap here. Remember that MTV, when it is debuting, the big new music on the scene is indeed rap and hip hop, and it's one of the earliest avenues for the dissemination of that particular music genre. So no surprise that we're going to see it and hear it as an early influence in K-pop in its first sort of period. After this, we have the second period. Here we go, sorry. Our second period, which is the kind of idol evolution. And we have a move to industry at this point where music groups are actually combined together by outside forces and are an agent for more than just the promotion of their music. Let me go ahead and play an example from the, let's see, which one? From 2009. We're gonna play something from our second period. So to represent some of our female voices, this is from 2009, and this is Girls' Generation. We're going to see some major advancements from what we just heard in 1992.
boy, my first love story. My angel and my girls, my sunshine. Let's go. 너무너무 멋져 눈이 부셔 숨을 못 쉬겠어 떨리는 걸. 너무 부끄러워 쳐다볼 수 없어 사랑에 빠졌어 수줍은 girl. 어떻게 왔다 갔다 하죠 떨리는 나는요. 그는 두근거려 밤엔 잠도 못 이루죠. 나는 바본가 봐요. 그대밖에 모르는 바보. 그래요 그대 보는 나 너무 반짝반짝 눈이 부셔 No 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 너무 깜짝 놀란 나는 너무 짜릿짜릿 몸이 떨려 지지지지지 꽂혀준 눈빛 oh yeah 좋은 향기 oh yeah yeah yeah.
So a lot of the accompaniment that we're listening to also mimics stuff that was popular in that time in the United States. The accompaniment is much more rock and pop driven, with an emphasis on things that are particularly upbeat sounding. As you noticed as well, huge jump from what we saw in 1992. There's a concept and a design that's being used here, that we have an interplay of kind of two basic themes, one that has a story element to it, and the other one that has a strongly choreographed element to it. And everything is incredibly stylized. And the music video here is, although we have high production values in the United States regarding music videos, there are sort of above and beyond in some of these K-pop endeavors. I want to take a look at advancements since 2009, talk about what's happened in our third era. So we're going to talk about a 12-member band called EXO. This came out, I believe, in 2016, but represents our third sort of stage and era of K-pop music, which I think we are still fairly in, our transnational current of the idol. And what we're going to see and hear are things that are just amplifications of the last video that we saw. Huge stresses on choreography, unified elements regarding the stage design and the concept of what we're listening to. So even though there's, well, anyway, let's watch it first. And certainly at this point, when you see this group and hear this song in live performance, you don't only expect the auditory experience of it, but also the choreographed elements in addition to a staged representation of what you see on the music video. So let me pull up the same song, but done live. Again, same choreography, same sort of vibe during the live performance. It's obviously live, which I also really enjoy, but they're dedicated to having the entire principle and aesthetic goal of the thing come through in live performance as well. And obviously choreography is very much a part of this genre, really molding visual aspects plus music plus choreography together into a multi-sensory sort of experience. What's interesting too is that obviously some of these groups have cultivated huge fan followings at this point. Some of them even disruptive on platforms like Twitter, which is awesome. But they release content of the ensemble getting ready for rehearsals as well. So it's also a genre where more of the pre-performance, pre-production is in the public view, and that's an interesting idea. So I just want to play a small snippet of what it looks like to see the dancers rehearse in preparation for a music video. Notice how there's even a budget production in their rehearsal videos. We didn't go just any lighting like the overhead lighting that you would typically have in a practice space, but we have stylized lighting. We've decided everyone's going to wear black to have a uniform kind of look to the ensemble. And part of this is very unique to K-pop. We don't see a lot of this in other genres of music that at least I've encountered. And at least pre-production stuff that is so well crafted, perhaps. I think it's worth looking at actually a little bit of how a K-pop music video is made, because it's a very intricate process that very much does invite the medium of cinematography into what we I think categorize more as a musical genre, although that's kind of my argument, is maybe only a small part of the pie.
K-팝 뮤직비디오의 가장 큰 특징은 엄청 화려해요. 다채로운 세트에 화려한 의상 여러 가지에, 그리고 화려한 퍼포먼스, 매력 장기자랑 선물 세트, 종합 선물 세트 같은 느낌이 안 들면 이제 K-팝 비디오가 아닌 거죠. 이 아티스트한테 이제 또 다른 삶의 그런 팬들이 놀 수 있는 새로운 캐릭터를 만들어내는 이제 그런 작업이 이제 K-팝 가수들이라는 거죠. 예. 그리고 이제 저희만의 특징은 사실은 화려한 이 색감과 되게 액티브한 이제 안무 포인트를 잘 잡아내는, 솔직히 다 스킵해서 보냐, 스킵해서. 그런 시대에 살고 있기 때문에 사람들이 막 열광하는 거는 진짜 앨범 발매하고 한 1일? 한두 장면이라도 이제 기억나는 장면을 만들기 위해서 노력하는 게 이제 저희 색깔이라고 좀 볼 수 있을 것 같고요.
촬영팀, 연출팀, 편집팀, CG팀, 색보정팀, 그다음에 기획팀, 그다음에 제작팀까지 세분화가 이제 부분이 돼 있어서 제작 단계는 프리 프로덕션과 프로덕션과 포스트 프로덕션 이렇게 세 가지 단계로 나누는데 프리 단계, 기획 단계에서 보통 한 짧게는 일주 이렇게 가고 촬영은 사실 하루 이틀 정도고 나머지 후반 작업이 한 2주에서 열흘에서 가는 총 이런 프로세스로 K-팝 뮤직비디오의 한 거의 한 8, 90%가 거의 이 카메라로 촬영을 한다고 보시면 될 것 같고요. 카메라의 기종 이름은 이 독일 카메라인데 알렉스라는 카메라예요. 이제 요 렌즈 이제 하나의 가격이 거의 이제 자동차 한 대 값이라고 보시면 될 것 같아요. 그랜저급 한 대라고 보시면 되고 촬영하는 사람들에게 이제 뭐 허리와 무릎과 직업병을 안겨다주는 악마의 장비, 악마의 장. 이걸 든 상태에서 앵글을 그림을 맞춰가면서 움직이면서 혹시 주변에 장애물이 없는지 파악을 해가면서 에너지 소비가 많이 되는 촬영이에요. 댄스 장면들, 춤추는 장면들. 근데 제 기억으로 제일 처음 썼던 어떤 작품이 엑소의 중독이라는 작품에서 그때 춤이 되게 입체적으로 이렇게 나는 건데 그 작품에서 이런 짐벌 종류를 제일 처음으로 사용을 했었어요. 자, 이게 양쪽으로 이렇게 잡으세요.
네.
자, 이거 잡으시면
어디를 봐야 돼요?
일단은 배 닿으면 안 돼요. 이게 자, 1분 버티시면 제가 이거 드릴게요. 이거 비용은요. 이게 저거랑 똑같아요. 자동차 사는 거랑 똑같다고 생각하시면 돼요.
트위지에서부터 롤스로이스까지 있다고 보시면 돼요.
예. 그래서 거기에 맞는 나의 어떤 이제 캐파에 맞는 어떤 그런 것들을 가격이 정해지는 거죠. 모든 가수의 어떤 방향성에 따라서
뮤직비디오라는 게 영화처럼 뭐 대사로 전달할 수도 있는 것도 아니고 그래서 이제 되게 이제 미장센화 시켜서 뭐 그런 것들을 이제 접목을 시키는 건데 이제 이거를 이제 해석들을 되게 잘 해주시는 거죠.
은유적으로 표현을 하면은 여기에 팬들이 이제 말을 많이 붙이는 거긴데 어떻게 어떨 때는 보면 뭐 꿈보다 해몽이 더 좋을 때도 있고 어떻게 보면 이제 뉴미디어 시대이기 때문에 그만큼 볼 수 있는 채널도 너무 다양하고 소통을 할 수 있는 채널이 너무 다양하기 때문에 이것들을 같이 이끌어 가서 인터랙티브한 어떤 결과물을 만들어야 되기 때문에
되게 철저한 계획과 팬들과의 인터랙티브 진짜 피드백이 엄청나게 빨리 와요.
글로벌 인턴이 있어요. 그래서 저희 회사 구성을 보시면은 스웨덴 직원도 있고 그 독일 친구도 있고 그다음에 콜롬비아 친구도 있고 중국 친구도 있고 일본 친구도 있어요. 사실 우리가 그냥 모르고 한국 사람의 시각으로 봤을 때랑 글로벌 시각으로 봤을 때랑 약간 달라요. 읽어내느냐가 사실은 이 프로젝트의 성패에 달려 있어요.
제일 중요한 건 이제 제작자나 저희 같은 이제 디렉터들이나 구심점을 갖고 가는 거죠. 거기 안에 이제 심지는 있는데 요거를 이제 어떻게 녹여서 저희 색깔을 만드느냐.
So, as you can see that we have high production values, that a lot is going into the moving image because it's what's sort of unpacking some of the lyric content for us. And so, much like a director for a film, there are directorial positions for people who are taking on these music videos, which have huge budgets and huge casts to them, both in the areas of costuming, of set design, of makeup, of choreography. I mean, you name it, and it probably has showed up in a K-pop video at some point. Bright use of colors, and as our interviewer said, a lot of active choreography and emphasis on active choreography. So I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about K-pop, its evolution, and the other musical traditions such as trot that have come from Korea and imports into America via Korean Americans. There are a plethora of other listing examples I didn't get time to include in today's lecture. If you're interested in the topic beyond what I've discussed, check out the listening links below and watch the videos that I clipped in part in full if you like. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you tomorrow for our next installment.